Shows you're about to watch contain graphic adult content. Viewer discretion is advised. You're watching Hellflyer TV. It's here. It's finally here.
Sunday Tailgate Kings?
No, well, I mean, yes, but we are in the first week of the preseason.
Yes!
We've already had one game, which means next Sunday we're going to go to the 2 hours that it normally is supposed to be, because we'll actually be able to show clips and talk about it. I know. I'm so fucking stoked. I mean, we're going into the second year of Tailgate Kings podcast. You guys got to watch it all last year, and here we are back with it going into the second season. I'm so fucking excited.
Right.
So now we get to kind of start how we would normally have our podcast set up, which obviously we always start off with showing you the game clips. We've already had one game, and of course I'm it's not really worth showing, but I'm gonna show it anyways, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. But here we go.
So far so good. He's looked good in camp. He's got an opportunity with Pittsburgh. He throws, completes, first down. Nice run after the catch by McLeod. And I think he realizes what he has in front of him and what this might lead to in Pittsburgh. On first down, this one is off the hands of Washington. COVID protocol, and eventually Ron Rivera said enough and then said goodbye. Haskins takes off and takes it just into Cowboys territory. Third down coming up. You hope that he has realized, I believe by all indications from the coaching staff he has, but you don't get a whole lot of opportunities in this league. Here's a pass broken up. Blitz by the Cowboys defense and Zach Gentry. Well, I can tell you that Mike McCarthy hopes it's never done again while he's the quarterback and he's the head coach, because that's not where this team's at their best. They can play the game. They can beat you any way you want. And that's how you earn your roster spot, especially on a team like Pittsburgh that is set in so many spots. Haskins keeps, dumps it off, pass is caught. And the big tight end, Kevin Rader. Now Kalen Ballage. Haskins out to his right, pass is low and incomplete. for Ray McLeod. Well, speaking of safety play, John, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that you started your collegiate career as a quarterback, and that's what always impressed me, was to see a guy that played quarterback get moved to the safety position.
It was Kiffin, Marinelli, Lovie Smith, Herm Edwards, and then replaced by Herm Edwards, Joe Barry. I mean, just a tremendous staff.
Now, we can't let you get out of here, John, without talking about the 49ers. You got to miss a little bit of this Cush broadcasting job, though, right?
Absolutely. Here's one of the end zone, and a lot of hand checking going on, but no flag.
There's a little more to it than what it was when he was the defensive coordinator with the Seattle Seahawks, but Deshaun Wright, he fits that mold perfectly.
Pass is caught, tackle is made. That was McLeod on the grab, and that was Wright on the tackle, right on cue, a gain of 3.
They've got some talented players. It's just a matter of whether or not they can live up to the ability that they have.
Flat-footed throw, impressive. That's a catch, a fumble, and it's recovered by the Steelers. And it looks like it's enough for a first down. It is. It's going to be special. It's going to be a lot of fun. Haskins in the face of a blitz. Pass is incomplete. 3rd down and 7. Pass underneath is caught, and a nice tackle is made. Robinson made the stop.
That shit was ugly as fuck.
The game ended 16-3. So you had Cowboys with 1 field goal. The Steelers had 2 touchdowns, missed field goal, and 1 field goal.
Right.
But it's preseason. I mean,
Dwayne Haskins looks like he's out there lobbing a fucking goddamn metal ball. Like, it looks like he was doing shot put, like, for the first fucking quarter. Like, goddamn, son, throw it. Holy shit, was that ugly. That was probably the ugliest. You know what? If the Steelers are going to use Dwayne Haskins, good luck. Because you won't be going to the playoffs anytime soon.
No.
I hate to say that, but that is, oh, God, that was horrible. Horrible. I mean, I know it's the preseason, but fucking A, man. Catch a goddamn ball.
Mm-hmm.
Throw a goddamn ball. It's not a fucking goddamn 10 tons of lead, son. Throw it. Holy shit. Anyway, so that was an ugly game. So now we're going to go into preseason, and we're going to give you, who we think is going to win. So I got the schedule pulled up. Thursday night's games, Washington up against New England. I'm going with New England.
I'm going to go with New England.
Yeah. Next, the Steelers against the Eagles. I'm going to go Eagles.
Eagles, yep.
Yep. Let's see. Friday's games. We got the Titans against the Falcons. I'm going Titans.
Titans with you.
Yeah. The Bills against the Lions. Hands down the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills.
They're third string. Could beat the first string.
Yeah.
That's hands down. Cowboys against the Cardinals. I'm going Cardinals.
Cardinals all the way.
Yeah. Saturday's games. The Dolphins against the Bears. Ooh. I'm still going to go Chicago.
It's a toss-up, but I'm going to go Chicago. I'm going to go for that.
That's kind of a tough one because the Dolphins have put together a decent little team down there.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, that's a little tough, but I think Chicago's gonna best them. Denver versus Minnesota. I don't know.
Denver.
Just take a corner and flip it. I guess I'm gonna go with Minnesota just because Dalvin Cook if he plays.
Dude, come on.
I'm sorry, the fucking Broncos suck.
So does Minnesota.
Well, yeah, right, but Minnesota has Dalvin Cook, and that motherfucker could flip a game real fast.
This is preseason, though. I'm not looking too much into it. I'm gonna stick with Denver.
Okay. You gonna stick with Denver? All right. Next one: New Orleans versus Baltimore. I'm going Baltimore all the way. Saints ain't got nobody. All their people are hurt. They're all got second and third string people. That their season's just blown.
Yeah,
I mean, nobody knows what they have going on as quarterback. Michael Thomas is out for the rest of the fucking year. All you got is Alvin Kamara, and you know they're not going to play him during the preseason. If they do, it'll be like the last fucking quarter,
right.
or the first quarter, and that's all you're going to see him do.
He'll get 3 touches, and that's it.
Yeah, you're not going to see. I'm going with Baltimore all the way on that one.
I agree, Baltimore.
Next one, Browns and Jaguars. Because we have no idea what the Jaguars are going to do, what they're going to look like, how they're going to handle anything. I'm going to go with the more obvious choice of going with Cleveland.
I'm going to go for Jacksonville just for one.
I would like to see Jacksonville win it, but that team is a big, huge fucking question mark.
Right.
Big, huge question mark. Anthony, I agree with you. Kamara is one of the best. I don't think he is the best, but he is one of the best running backs in the NFL. I will definitely agree with you there. But yeah, so I'm going to go with Cleveland on that one. The next one, New York Giants versus the New York Jets. I'm going to go with the Giants.
Sure, Giants.
Next one, the Bengals against the Buccaneers.
Yeah, Buccaneers.
You can get the third string out there. They're still going to win. Yeah, Buccaneers. Next one, Packers and Texans. I'm going Packers.
I'm not going to say it, but I'm going to agree with you.
Okay, that's fine. That's okay. I understand why. Next one, the Chiefs and the 49ers. I'm going to go with 49ers.
I agree.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 49ers. Next one, the Raiders and the Seahawks. I'm going to go with an upset. I'm going to go with the Raiders.
I agree on that one.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Raiders. Next one, the Chargers and the Rams. I'm going to go with the Chargers.
I'm going to go Rams.
Really?
Yep.
Okay.
Matthew Stafford going there? I'll give that a shot.
That's it. Now, who they got backup to Stafford? Because, he's the one that's going to take the most reps.
I know, but still, I'm going to actually pick the Rams for this one.
Yeah. Okay.
Ooh, Sunday.
Let's see what else. Sunday, we got the Panthers and the Colts. Fuck. Oh, fuck.
That's why I was like, ooh, Sunday.
That's another, just take the fucking coin and throw it up in the goddamn air because, Indy lost their big ticket quarterback is out for fucking probably the year. They're saying 5 to 6 weeks, but I think he's out for the season.
It's hard to say. And they just gave so much for him.
Yeah, so Carson Wentz is out for an extended amount of time. Who the fuck is their backup? I don't even think Jacoby Brissett is still there. If he is, they might be okay. But I can't remember who their backup quarterback is. It was Brissett for the longest.
I'm pulling it up right now.
Which they got Brissett from us.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see how that rolls out.
Let's see here.
But I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go with Colts. I'm gonna go with Indy. That's what I'm gonna do.
I'm gonna go with Carolina just because at least I know there's somewhat of an offense.
Okay. So now we're going to head into all the different little things that's going on around the NFL. First one that we're going to talk about is the big one. Actually, there's two big ones in New England that I'm going to bring up. And this isn't because it's a homer pick and that's my team, but this is two of the things that are most talked about. First one is N'Keal Harry's pending wanting his trade out of New England.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's a fantastic move. Everybody's heard me. I'm not a big fan of N'Keal Harry. I was so pissed when we fucking drafted him because literally when that happened, DK Metcalf was still available. AJ Brown was still available. Hollywood Brown was still available. There was four badass, amazing wide receivers still on the board. All of them have produced big time with their teams, except for N'Keal Harry.
Mm-hmm.
This motherfucker, he reminds me of the dude from the movie The Replacements who couldn't catch the football unless he thought it was a royal toilet paper. The only difference between him and N'Keal Harry, he could actually finish a route. N'Keal Harry can't.
Richard Franklin.
My God. My God. And I'm seeing a report. He actually did report to training camp, even though he wants the trade out.
Right.
But I'm really hoping this Davante Adams thing turns out and we end up trading or getting something done with Davante Adams. I know there was rumors of us getting Alshon Jeffrey, but I think Alshon Jeffrey's too big of a gamble.
Yeah.
The last 2 years hurt, and that's why Philadelphia finally let him go because he couldn't stay healthy. And I'm like, that's a big gamble. Maybe if he took a super discount, gave a big, huge discount for the fact that he's spent the last 2 years injured over half the year every year. But still, it's not worth it. It's not worth the gamble.
I agree.
So,
I don't think Adams is going to go anywhere, though. I mean, the whole thing with Aaron Rodgers coming back, he's there. They just got back, Cobb. So you've got, the two main wide receiver duo that they like to have. I don't see him going anywhere. I think he's actually going to play the season out now that Aaron Rodgers is for sure going to be there to play.
Oh, I think he'll play. If he plays the season out, he won't come back after. He'll leave.
Yeah.
This is his last year on that contract.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted the extension, and it was a no-go.
Well, they offered an extension, but they just didn't offer the right thing. And then with all the back and forth with Rodgers, he's like, if you guys are screwing up the star quarterback, then, no. Because he didn't know if he was going to walk. I wouldn't have stayed there.
I don't think we'll see Adams or Rodgers in Green Bay after this year.
Right.
It's done.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see that poof gone, bye-bye. Packers will go to shit after this year, and that's even if they can hold it together this year. And then the next one is, of course, everybody's like, who's the number one quarterback in New England? And I've been watching, and they're saying it's clearly Cam Newton. So we'll see. But he is on borrowed time. If he doesn't do something this year, it's good. You're going to see Mac Jones take over immediately, which I've already seen that he's doing amazing in camp too.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to see a Mac Jones take over. I mean, all it's going to take is one fuck up, and I'm a Cam fan. I love Cam, but Cam fucks up. You're going to see him out the door. And they've already prepared because they've got 3 quarterbacks on that damn team now, which normally we only keep 2, but we're keeping 3. And that's obviously for in case something happens and they possibly might feel like something is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see where that goes from there. Next one, Doug Peterson seen in Chicago. How do you feel about that? Please don't tell me y'all motherfuckers are going to hire his ass.
I don't know. So until I read a little bit more into it, I'm just.
What's the deal? What's the deal on it right now?
I don't have all the information on that one. I'm sorry.
Because they apparently they've seen him walking around during training camp quite a few times now. So, oh no, you're gonna wind up with fucking Doug Peterson. That's not looking too. You got the Red Rocket and now Doug Peterson. Oh God, are you guys really going to go with Andy Dalton?
I think that's the way
being said.
Yeah, that sadly is what being said, and I'm not too happy still with that. But I don't know. Like, all right, keep him in there, I guess. Let him be, because there's potential that we won't have Nick Foles. They're saying, speculation right now that he's partially linked to Indy. So he might be on the way out. So it's probably going to be, the Red Rocket with Justin Fields. And I'm fine with putting Justin Fields in soon because I'm not an Andy Dalton fan. I've watched his whole career in Cincinnati, and I just don't trust the guy. When push comes to shove, he just crumbles. So I don't know. And then the Doug Peterson thing, I'm just still on the fence because, no, I don't want him as our head coach. Yeah, he got a Super Bowl. No, I don't give a shit.
Right.
And
that would scare the shit out of me.
And to answer your question, I had it right here. Did I get rid of it? There is the 3 other quarterbacks for Indy. So it's Jacob Eason, Sam, what the hell? I'm going to mispronounce these last names. Englinger and Brett Hundley is 3 quarterbacks. One's 28 years old. So you got a little bit of experience. Then you have a 23 and a 22-year-old. So who do they really have for quarterback? I don't know.
Nobody. All right. Well, I might go with the Panthers then. But anyways, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and we will be right back.
Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
All right, that's Deadly Grounds coffee, which we here at Hellflyer actually have our own branded Deadly Grounds coffee, as do Scoops of Mischief. So you guys will be able to find that in anywhere that we're at. So, and it should be on the internet pretty soon. As soon as it is, we will obviously push that out to everybody. Next up on the docket is this whole big whatever the hell is going on with Xavier Howard down in Miami. Like, what the fuck is going on? All of a sudden, he's wanting to trade out.
And they just restructured his deal too.
Did they restructure it, or is this old? Like, he bitched about it after the restructure.
I mean, it's telling me that they restructured it recently, so it's not giving me any exact date on this.
Well, I know they restructured it, and now he's unhappy because there's a lot of other quarterback corners that he feels like he's better than, and now he wants another, restructure because he wants more money. So, because from what I'm seeing, August 6th, they don't want to trade him, but he's still asking for a trade. So yeah, he's still wanting a trade out. Now, if he's going to trade out, what's the Dolphins' best move at that point?
I mean, there's a lot of teams that's looking for a little bit more sturdier, cornerback, so that could be up for anything.
Right. I wouldn't even know where he would go. I mean, I know there's a lot of teams. There's so many damn teams, but Miami's going to have to get something good out of it because he's a top corner.
Mm-hmm.
Period. So you're going to have to give at least a first round, maybe a third round, and possibly a player.
Possibly.
I mean, he's young. He's real young. So what are you going to do about that? I would restructure and just give him the damn money, unless they have a serious cap issue, which is a very good possibility. I don't know what Miami's cap space looks like. They may not be able to. They might have their fucking hands tied, and it's done. It's done for. but we'll see. Next story. This goes on to your whole Rams thing. Sean McVay says there is zero chance that Matthew Stafford will take any snaps during the preseason.
Makes sense.
Are you sure you still want to go with the Rams against the Chargers?
It's preseason, man. I'm gonna have fun with that one. So sure, I've already said it. I'm gonna lock that in. I'll be simple.
Okay. I got you. Let's see. Okay, so Kyle Webb here is saying that Xavier got what he wanted. Okay, so he'll be staying in that was good move. Good move for Miami. I wouldn't have wanted to lose a player like that. That would have hurt them, drastically.
Right.
So that would have really, really, really fucking sucked on that one. Let's see, what else do we have going on in the NFL before we get into fantasy football talk? That is coming. That is coming. You got a smile on your face. What do you got? What do you got?
No, I'm just excited. Talking about fantasy football. We're talking about preseason. I'm smiling and happy because we've been waiting for this. As soon as the season ends, we're like, damn, no more football. And then we talk about returning a football. And now it's, hey, we're getting right there to return a football. I'm excited.
Gotcha. So let me ask you, this is a hot pressing question. And I actually have not read all the rules on what's going on. But I know that a lot of players are not happy with the new COVID shit that's going on in the NFL. So I don't know what the exact rules are, but I know a lot of players are throwing a fucking fit.
Mm-hmm.
And there's coaches that have quit. Patriots had 2 coaches quit, just
flat
out quit, and said they weren't coming back to the NFL unless some changes were made to what it was. Because I guess if you're not vaccinated, you can't do like a shit ton of stuff. Like you can't be in meetings, you can't do this, you can't do that. And they're basically forcing players and employees to get vaccinated.
Right. They even made a point of it of if that the team gets infected and basically have to quarantine, they forfeit that game then. If they have so many players that is not vaccinated, then they would forfeit the game and the other team gets the automatic win because of that. So a lot of teams are trying to make everybody do that. So on that one, it's a very tough situation because everybody wants, simple things, but it's not really working out to the best of everybody's natures.
No, I mean, I personally believe that, you shouldn't be made to have to take anything. It's kind of a shitty situation. Like I understand the safety of it, and I do get that, but at the same time, no one should be forced to do something or put something into their body that they don't want to do.
Right.
So with that, I feel like there would have been a better way of something of the form of like signing, waivers, whatever you're playing, you understand that you could possibly get COVID, blah, 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 and have to sign waivers.
But if you look at it, though, they had a lot of games they had to switch up last year. So many games got pushed back, canceled, flipped because of the different aspects of everything. So they're trying to eliminate a lot of that because they want to make money. And of course, it's the NFL. Right. So they want to make sure all their games are being pushed. They want to make sure everything's being broadcast like it should be. They want to sell out the stadiums like they can. So they want to keep it as consistent as they can because the team loses money, for not having the stadium full. Then you're not getting all the ad revenue for everything for the games being shown. It's taking a huge hit. So, yes, we're going to talk about health and money. So health and wealth.
Well, at that point, I kind of feel like it should be put up to a vote. I think that the players and the coaches and owners and everybody should have a say in how that goes and put it up to a vote, majority rules.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, make it make it simple. But I think it's more or less they're mad that this governing state is like, you're going to do this, this, and this, and if you don't, you're not going to play.
Right.
And I think that's where they're like, what the fuck? No, fuck that shit. So, you're already getting some players that are retiring because they don't want to do it. But I get it. Like, I see both sides. Like, I see the side of having to do the vaccination, and I see the other side, and there's a lot of variables that are put in there, but I think there's a better way of, making those decisions to where everybody would be happy, and you're not going to get like a fucking mass strike, which they're not talking about that now, but it could happen.
Right.
You piss off enough of them, it very well could happen. And I know the NFL Players Association is not happy about it at all whatsoever. They're throwing a fucking holy shit fit over it.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully this won't be a problem for the season and stop things and shut shit down. That would be god awful. But moving on, so our next little thing is we're going to talk about fantasy football. So give me your top 5 picks that you think people should pick when going into playing fantasy football, and in what order, because that's extremely important too. This is like playing chess.
Right. And it's always a very strategic move on that one. So I know years before, everything's switching. I mean, it used to be running backs would go immediately in the first round. Right. Now they don't. They go more later on. So people always go for their biggest things. They go for quarterbacks. So you have something like that. You have wide receivers or your top tier tight ends. So it just really depends on how you want to structure your team. If you know your quarterback's going to be a little bit further down the list and you might have a little bit of a chance to get them, then okay, go for your top tier wide receiver or tight end. Then in your second pick, you're going to try to look at what running backs are available. And if you get a chance, you might look at the quarterback then. You get to your third round, that's when you're really going to start having to worry a little bit, because a lot of the quarterbacks are going to be gone. A lot of good wide receivers are gone, and start figuring that out. And then when do you pick up your defense? Now, I've drafted in so many different ways where I've seen how everything was laid out. I'm like, all right, this is where my picks are. There's no chance in hell I'm going to get all the players that I want. So I will actually oddly pick. So sometimes I'll jump and pick somebody a little bit early because I feel that person's going to be, a superior thing. I used to pick up Tom Brady way early, and people are like, oh, that's stupid. No, it's not. Because now I know I'm set. I can always go and know, hey, there's a second string, running back that's going to give a chance. That's going to be right there to do this or do that. Not second string, but, a backup running back that's going to be a higher number that potentially could do this. Hey, they like to catch in the backfield. Perfect. So just do your research, make a short little list. And then when you go in to do your fantasy drafts, see where you're at for your picks, and then kind of gauge off of there. Always have multiple players for your one pick, because people are always going to grab somebody and like, oh crap. And then now you're on the clock. Your picks, someone's got them. Give yourself a little leeway. Have a couple extra options there. And again, look at stats. Look at past year to this year. Now, if they're coming from college, that's going to be a little bit more tougher because you're not going to be able to pull it up instantly on there, because I normally try to do both. But so you're going to go wide receiver, tight end, first pick, and then you're going to stay consistent with that, probably running back. You're still going to go quarterback-ish wide receiver. And about the fourth or fifth pick, you're probably going to be right there with defenses. Last, you always want to try to find, I do. I always try to go for a kicker. That's one of my last few picks. But, of course, you got, bench players, stuff like that. So just do your research, structure your team.
Kicker is always my last pick. Always. It's nobody's going to – that's like – I've seen some kickers score some massive points before, but it's very few and far between. That's kind of like that one position that's going to help you win the game by 1 point, because they went and kicked a fucking field goal and got you 1 point over your opponent and put you over. But like with me with fantasy football, it all depends. Like it's obviously my first pick is either going to be a quarterback, a wide receiver, or a running back always. But I'm going to look at who's on there and how much playing time are they going to get. You know, because if you have a quarterback that bombs, you know, you might have to fucking go with him because you know he's going to put up fucking 50 goddamn points a game. If that's the case, you're going to want to pick him right off the bat.
Right.
You know, or somebody like, you know, for say like Derrick Henry, you know that they're going to run that he's a fucking workhorse.
Right.
So you're going to go with somebody that's going to be that type of a workhorse for your first pick.
Right.
You want that person that's going to score that much. So your first 3 picks, that's what you want to go for is high scoring, you know, players to get on there.
Exactly.
So that's definitely something that I always focus on. Tight ends are kind of middle of the thing. So,
but some people, like I said, are picking them up in the first round nowadays. So, you know, you can find a decent one you can pull out and you can either get them early or take your chances on wide receiver, running back, quarterback, you know, and go from there for your top 3 and then figure out the order that you're going to go from there.
Yeah, definitely. So who do you think is going to be the number 1 fantasy player picked all the way around?
That's going to be the number 1 pick throughout, in theory?
Yeah.
I think Derrick Henry's going to be number 1 on that one. After what he put in last year, I think he's a good, solid, you know, number 1 pick on that. So, you know, I haven't done any mock drafts yet or anything to see what the structuring is going to be for anything else, but I know we're going to go ahead and do that soon. We're structuring our fantasy league for Hellflyer, which is actually going to be awesome, and looking into all of that, which is going to be, you know, a lot of work put into this to make sure that we're getting the right picks, the right choices, and it's going to be so weird this year because I know last year's games were a little bit different in how things were handled. And are they going to be full bore? You know, they actually have a full-size training camp this year. We're going to 17 games for the season instead of having the normal 16 games. So who's going to have more wear and tear on them compared to last year and the years prior? You're going to have a lot more defenses that's going to be tired, folks. So it's going to be baffling to see who's going to be hurt, who's going to be healthy altogether, and completely go from there. So it's definitely going to be something for sure. All right, so let's go into different things. So we already talked about the aspect of, you know, Aaron Rodgers coming back. The Packers went ahead and traded from Houston to get Cobb back. So you're getting a good wide receiver core right there. That's going to be back, which pisses me off because, as you can see, I'm already a Bears fan. So that's going to be a little bit tougher. I was hoping for a little bit more of a leniency this year, but we ain't going to be that lenient. All right. So with COVID and everything, we didn't really get to see the Hall of Fame last year. They showed finally the bust for Troy Polamalu. Seeing him with that big hair and everything else and that smile on his face is always a great thing. You know, he's a good player, hell of a good player. And, man, what skill. I don't think we'll ever see another Troy Polamalu level player ever again. Okay, Jets here. Zach Wilson had a crappy performance recently, throwing out 2 picks and everything else. Yes, he's a rookie quarterback, but we're looking at the Jets here, and let's just say Jets suck. Sorry, folks. No, I mean, I'm going to give him some props. He's, you know, going to be learning. He's going to be under the gun, but that's going to be a lot of toll again. The Jets are just trying to retool, and they're just not getting the focus, the help that they need. And really with that, I feel sorry for them. But we've got a lot of teams this year that have brand new quarterbacks. We have, rookies that are coming in, and we have, first these new quarterbacks coming in to different teams and having new offensive coordinator, all new coaches, and see how long is it going to take for them all to click. Last year we saw the same thing, even with Tom Brady. It took a few games before everything settled in, but once it was locked in, it was locked. So I want to see how Fitzmagic, does in Washington with everything that's there. Panthers, because of the new quarterback that they got, how is that going to turn out? It is such a crapshoot. And I know for a while we were talking there about quarterbacks, what quarterbacks going where, and that. Now we have a better understanding. There's still a couple teams that's up in the air for quarterbacks, like we talked about for Indianapolis, because of their star getting hurt and potentially what his return date will be. So there's still not even a full detail on what quarterback that's going to be starting for him while he's out hurt. So, all right, now I think it's a good time for us to go ahead and do our Villain Arts commercial. So we're going to go ahead and show you this here for one of our sponsors. Alrighty. Next, we're going to go on to this little segment here. The Indianapolis Colts have extended Darius Leonard's contract, making him a 5-year deal for $98.5 million extension, making him the highest paid inside linebacker. Can I just get like a smidge of that money there? Like just a little shaving off of that, please. $98.5 million. I'll wash your shoes or something. I don't know. But wrong profession. I wish I could be big and barely and scary like that. That'd be awesome. On this one, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers is suggesting that TJ Watt won't practice until contract extension is finalized. So you have the Watt family are very, very good players. But I hate to say that. It's like, oh, I'm just going to sit on until the contract is agreed on. You're signed a contract, man. Get your butt up there. Go play the game. Yes, I know sitting down is going to try to give you some leverage. Yes, you have a name. But I don't know how long he's going to hold out for. But hopefully he gets himself into shape and gets ready for the NFL season. Because guess what, folks? Like I just said, it's going to be a longer one. People are going to have to pace themselves, take their time, and go out there and just rip. But also be as casual and like safe as they can with everything, because it's going to be hella crazy. Sorry about that. Dustin had to step away for something very important. So I know I'm not him, but he'll be back shortly. So, okay. So going back to this Hall of Fame. So like I was saying, we have Troy Polamalu, who gets his jacket and everything else gets his statue. We have Steve Hutchinson gets introduced. So we get to have a wider class that's going to have Peyton Manning and Calvin Johnson for the next one. And you have two phenomenal names back to back with each other. And it's going to be a very, very nice Hall of Fame year for that one. They both highly deserve it. Sadly, I wish Megatron would have played a lot longer, but I kind of understand he was taking the abuse. And Detroit was not really given much back in the aspect of that one, so they're doing exactly what they can. but I wish he would have stayed a little bit longer because Megatron was just a fucking beast. All right. Let's do top 5 candidates under the age of 30. So on this one, what does it say here? Time for John Gruden to step it up for Hall of Fame candidate. That's a good choice of that one. John Gruden's a good head coach. I always respected him when he was with Tampa Bay. He was a good coach for the Raiders too. When he left Tampa Bay to become, a Monday Night Football and doing stuff like that, I liked his outlook on everything because he always puts a lot of time in, does a lot of research. But has he really shown his full potential by going back to the Raiders and having his 10-year, $100 million deal to return? It's just not showing enough. They do have great players. It has not been shown full potential. But we're talking about players under the age of 30 that's potentially be Hall of Fame caliber players. And that would be, let's start here. Cleo Mack. That's actually used to be one of John Gruden's players. Traded him as soon as he got there. Cleo Mack really didn't like how the takeover was and asked to be traded. Got out of there. Oh, where's my list that I just had? Alrighty. So, of course, we already know that Tom Brady's going to be a shoo-in for it. We already have Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Donald for defense. Phenomenal. J.J. Watt for sure. So let's go with the ranking here. I'm going to go ahead and go all the way to the bottom and see what we have. This is it. Lamar Jackson. And he's going to be a great player for that, but I don't know.
Sorry, we had severe technical difficulties.
No worries, boss. So right now I was just talking about 5 potential players under the age of 30 that basically are Hall of Fame caliber. But number 5 being Lamar Jackson. We still see a lot of potential in there, so I wouldn't put, a jacket on him just yet. There's still a long way to go. We have TJ Watt. He's pretty fucking beastly.
The only thing that I have to say about Lamar Jackson, and this is the problem with extremely mobile quarterbacks, is they are very, very, very injury prone. Because they're on their feet so much, they like to fucking run. Same thing happened to Cam Newton. Look at Cam Newton in Carolina. He was mobile. He was fast. He could run. And then what happened? Boom, fucking major injury. Gone for fucking 2 years. It took forever to get it pulled back together. And now he's in New England facing down basically the end of his career way earlier than what it should be because he's in his low 30s.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think Cam Newton's only 33, 34, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, he's looking at the end of his career, and that is the big problem with those mobile quarterbacks is they risk a lot more than somebody who's like a pocket passer like Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, guys like that. You have a good offensive line, you're not going to get hit that much. And you're going to extend your career way longer than you are if you're a mobile player. And that is why I have an issue putting players like Lamar Jackson in those situations because they could go in the league and get their ass busted in the first 4 years and their career be done.
Right.
They could have been an amazing quarterback, had an amazing career, but because they were mobile and they wanted to run, and wanted to get around shit, all it takes is that one massive, nasty injury, and whoop, there goes that career.
Like I said on that one, I wouldn't give him the gold vest now. I'm just saying he has huge potential, but you're absolutely right. Because of being a mobile quarterback, he does have an arm on him, so he can be in the pocket and throw. He can be mobile. Just, again, be very cautious because we've seen that too many times. Oh, we got a mobile quarterback. Oh, he can do this, he can do that. And then, you're right, he takes too much abuse.
Mm-hmm.
We saw it in the Super Bowl, 500 yards running for your life.
Yeah.
And you're getting knocked around left and right, and it's so damn difficult to keep up.
Right.
Number 3 on this one would be Jalen Ramsey.
Okay,
So,
I agree with that. Jalen TJ Watt, I agree with. Jalen Ramsey, I definitely agree with. Derrick Henry, I agree with.
Yes.
I think if anybody can beat Emmitt Smith's records, it's going to be Derrick Henry.
Absolutely.
Like, hands down, it's going to be Derrick Henry. I mean, that dude, I don't even know what to say about him.
Mm-hmm.
He's like a fucking football god. Like, there's just no stopping him.
I've been watching him since he first came up in Alabama, and he has been a beast. And I was looking so forward to his, pro day and everything else, and he wasn't up to par. So they saw a couple things like, oh no, he needs too much work. He's not going to go as a first round pick, like number 1 pick, I should say. So that's why they went ahead and picked up the running back they did for the Cowboys. I'm glad the Cowboys didn't pick up Derrick Henry, but they're like, oh no, he's a much better running back. And I'm like, who the hell are you guys talking about? Like, this dude is this. No, we're going to talk about it like, Trent Richardson and all this stuff of Alabama has phenomenal core running backs. They are beasts. Mm-hmm. But yes, you're going to have a couple ones that are out there that are going to be a beast in college, go to the NFL and be a bust. That's going to happen with anybody that you look at. Quarterbacks, wide receivers, any school are going to have that issue.
Mm-hmm.
But I kept telling my friends and other people, I'm like, do not sleep on Derrick Henry. And you know what? It took him a few games, and they started picking it up, and then he just took over. And Zeke Elliott, I'm sorry. People were like, oh, yeah, he's superior. No, Zeke can sit the hell back because
Ezekiel Elliott, I feel like, is just he's above average.
Mm-hmm.
He's not bad. He's better than good.
Right.
He's better than average, but I wouldn't put him in that superior, like he's not a Alvin Kamara, he's not a Marshawn Lynch, he's not a Corey Dillon. I don't see that in him. He is a good running back,
right,
but he's not the caliber of Derrick Henry.
And I like the idea how Derrick Henry played it out. He got his contract extension and everything, talked about that. He did it the right way. He went out there, he produced. He didn't sit back and go, no, I'm not going to play until I get a contract extension. You have a way superior running back that has a better understanding of the game and how to play the game, and it shows there alone. He should hopefully break every damn record.
Oh, yeah. He's on track. Unless something really bad happens, yeah, he's going to smash, Emmitt Smith's and Barry Sanders, and he's going to smash their fucking records into oblivion.
With what he had last year, how far away was he to have the single season rushing yards? I'm forgetting what the hell was.
He wasn't far off. I know he put over 2,000 yards.
Right. So let's talk about that. Most recently, in the past 10 years, the two players that's really gotten that close has been Adrian Peterson and Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
That's a hell of a stature, too, to even have your name like, hey, you're that close to breaking that record and showing what you're doing, and you're still right there. Now, I like Adrian Peterson, but I see the talents there of Derrick Henry with his size and everything else. The dude's a tank. So I see huge potential, and I hope to see, King Henry, because of how he got passed up on and people were putting him back. I'd love to see him just go annihilate and be like, yeah, you fucked up. You had a chance to pick me first. And I went to Tennessee, and I'm doing great.
He will. I mean, he will. That's just bottom line. I mean, he's going to kill it. If they keep it together, he'll probably help Tennessee win a Super Bowl in the next couple of years.
Absolutely.
They might win it next year.
They might.
It's a damn good possibility.
They're stacking up. They've got a good defense. They've picked up another great wide receiver. So, I mean, they've got a great wide receiver core. Their quarterback, people knocked him around. He's got huge potential. He's a damn good quarterback. I'd take him on my team any day. But, so there's a great opportunity there entirely for Tennessee for sure.
Tannehill got lucky.
Yeah.
Because Tannehill's a decent quarterback. But I think really what unlocked Tannehill was going to Tennessee and getting better coaching.
Mm-hmm.
I think Tannehill's problem with Miami was he just wasn't in the right system. And
Right.
sometimes that's the way it is for players. A lot of times you'll see a player go to one team and they fucking suck. And then they turn around and go to another team and they're the fucking greatest thing that's ever happened.
The huge potential change of that, yes.
Yeah, no, it's just kind of like look at the story with like Wes Welker.
Mm-hmm.
Wes Welker was a badass slot receiver for the Patriots. Big. Well, he leaves the Patriots on a disagreement, and you never seen him do shit. He went to St. Louis, did shit. Went to a few other teams, did shit. He retired.
Denver.
No, he was in St. Louis too for a minute.
I know, but he went to Denver. He was still producing like crazy in Denver.
Oh, was he?
Yes.
Because I thought he didn't do shit in Denver.
No, he was still producing in Denver with Peyton Manning.
But, I mean, he really didn't live up to it after leaving New England. He wasn't putting up New England numbers. That's for damn sure. And, well, now he's doing good because now he's with San Francisco. Now he's like a fucking I think he's one of the top receivers coaches for the 49ers. So he's still in the NFL. But there's a lot of players that have done that have left where they were doing amazing and didn't do shit. Look at fucking Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman was unstoppable in Seattle. He went to 49ers and it's been
Yeah.
It's fucking Sherman's fault that the 49ers lost the goddamn Super Bowl to the Chiefs. They were beating the hell out of the Chiefs.
Yep.
And then fucking they started going, hitting Sherman, and Sherman couldn't stop a goddamn ball to save his fucking life. And then the Chiefs just ran right over him because Sherman was the fucking weak spot. You are the weakest link. Goodbye. And that's exactly what fucking happened. Because Mahomes seen that shit, found the fucking hole, and Sherman blew coverage all over that goddamn fucking field for the whole rest of the second half, which led Kansas City to win that Super Bowl. Sherman could have covered his guy. He would have been all right. But, it is what it is. But on that, I think we have ran out of time, boys and girls. We will be back next Sunday with 2 hours. 2 hours because we'll have all the highlights and my loud mouth talking shit and, him being the voice of reason and me being the voice of destruction. And it's going to be a fun time. But until then, we love you guys. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.
When I'm screaming, fuck you. Middle finger in the air, and all I wanted to hear was you screaming, fuck you too. I'm running the stratosphere in a brand new atmosphere. I wanna go and shoot to the campus clear, cause I never thought I would've made it out of here alive. From the land where the people put the evil and night ride. You'll never see an equal to my kind, so blind to anything to line the life to mind is right now. Looking for another mind to fight out, bringing everything that you can bring down to the ground like 150 pounds of C4, looking for keyboard thugs. Well, I'ma need more slugs, cause I wanna see more blood. You ain't never seen gold like us. They don't wanna make them any more like us. Put them on tour with the paint on, hoping that anybody can know your little lame song. Fuck right, I'ma stay wrong. Black out with a ray gun, looking for anybody to make up. Motherfuckers really need to wake up. There's nothing really you can say. It's ever gonna change my mind. I'm on some fuck that shit today. Fuck it, I don't care. Middle fingers in the air. Only count is up in here. Only count is up in here. Say fuck it, I don't care. Middle fingers in the air. Only count is up in here. Only count is up in here.
Fuck that! I said fuck this shit. I was born a son of a bitch and always talk a whole gang of shit. Even know that I wouldn't work spit. Now till I became a bastard. Whole world revel in the wake of my damn disaster. Had to talk to a pastor. Told me sit down, handle my shit, and try to figure out what the fuck's really the matter. Ain't none of my city, only big ass wicked is the last. I'm victim from your own personal promises. I never know peace is an emphasis.